GMNA uses artificial intelligence for generated speech, visuals, and production. AI-generated content may contain errors. Please verify important information before making decisions or taking action.
Good morning, Montreal. We're seeing the city decked out in fleur-de-lis for the national holiday as Harmonium reunites after 40 years, and traffic's moderate with festival closures. Plus, Tennis Canada just unveiled plans for a new retractable roof stadium. Over to you, Ryan.
Carey Price has been elected to the Hockey Hall of Fame as part of the 26 induction class.
The Hall of Fame announced Carey Price's election to the 26 class, recognizing his career achievements on the ice.
The induction ceremony for the Hall of Fame class, including Price, will take place this afternoon at the city's arena.
All right, let's get into it. Here are the top headlines shaping our morning and the stories you need to know. Good morning, Montreal. Yesterday, the city turned into a sea of fleur-de-lis, the emblem that floods streets, balconies, and public squares each June 24 for the Quebec national holiday. Against that backdrop, the legendary folk rock collective Harmonium took the stage, delivering a surprise reunion that marked their first performance together in more than 40 years. Founding members gathered at a downtown venue, weaving the province's symbols and their own timeless melodies into a single night of celebration. Fans, many clutching vintage vinyl, sang along to classics like Pour un Instant, while the band's harmonies echoed through the historic district. Organizers said the concert was meant to honor the holiday's tradition of music and cultural pride, and the spontaneous appearance of the iconic group added an extra layer of nostalgia to the day's festivities.
Over 200 performers marched down Rue Rachel Wednesday afternoon, turning the historic street into a vibrant tribute to Quebec's Fête Nationale. The procession featured sports teams, dance troupes, clowns, and a fleet of senior moped riders, each adding its own flair to the celebration. Organizers said the parade was designed to mark the province's national holiday, an occasion that each year inspires public festivities, concerts, street fairs, and parades in cities across Quebec. This year's route ran along Rue Rachel in the Plateau Montreal neighborhood, showcasing the street's lively atmosphere. The lively display highlighted the cultural diversity the holiday aims to showcase, bringing together participants of all ages. Spectators gathered along the route, enjoying the music and performances. As music echoed and flags waved, the event underscored the enduring spirit of the holiday for residents and visitors alike.
Yesterday, the Société Historique de Montréal appealed to Mayor Soria Martinez-Ferrada to arrange the return of the Samuel de Champlain statue that was recently removed in Ontario. The historic bronze, long displayed on the island, was toppled during a protest in the neighboring province last week. Society members said the work, a symbol of the city's founding explorer, belongs in Montreal's public space and urged the mayor to secure its safe transport back to its original location. Officials have not yet commented on a timeline for retrieval, but the request underscores ongoing debate over colonial monuments across the region. Society members highlighted the statue's artistic and historical significance, arguing that its removal would diminish public heritage. The call reflects a wider regional reassessment of colonial-era monuments. The mayor's office is expected to review the society's petition and coordinate with provincial authorities in Ontario regarding the statue's condition and custody.
The City of Montreal will honor Canadians forward Brendan Gallagher with honorary citizenship today at 3 p.m. in a ceremony at City Hall. Officials say the gesture recognizes Gallagher's long-standing impact on the club and his connection to fans across the island. The forward, a staple on the left wing since being drafted in 2010, has logged more than 600 regular season games and helped the Habs reach the playoffs multiple times. Mayor Soria Martinez-Ferrada is slated to present the certificate, while teammates and community leaders are expected to attend. The ceremony will be open to the public, and a brief reception will follow in the historic council chambers. Fans gathered outside the building this morning, waving Canadian scarves and chanting his name as staff prepared the venue.
After a Montreal couple tried to take advantage of Air Canada's 25% discount promotion on June 24, the rebooked tickets cost them slightly more than the original fares. The pair canceled their initial reservations and selected new seats under the advertised sale, only to discover that the airline's dynamic pricing algorithm had raised the base fare in the interim, erasing the discount benefit. Pricing experts say the practice, which adjusts prices in real time based on demand and inventory, can produce such counterintuitive outcomes, leaving travelers paying more despite a headline reduction. The incident has sparked renewed calls for airlines to provide clearer explanations of how promotional rates are calculated and to improve transparency for consumers. Air Canada has not commented further on the specific case. Consumer watchdogs have urged the Transportation Bureau to examine pricing practices and consider stricter disclosure rules. Coming up, we'll dive into Tennis Canada's new Montreal stadium with a retractable roof, plus more top stories. We will be right back.
Watch the local sunset tonight at 6 p.m. for all your local Montreal news.
If you run a venue, a comedy night, a concert, a fundraiser, you already know the hardest part isn't the show. It's selling the seats. Theaterfiller changes that. In minutes, you're set up with your own ticketing page, QR code delivery, and a door scanner. No technical headaches. No middleman taking a cut of your night. Your event, your tickets, your revenue. Go to theaterfiller.com and fill every seat.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm glad you're still with us. Up next, Ryan Mercer brings the latest local stories you need to hear this morning.
Tennis Canada revealed on June 23rd that a brand new stadium will rise in Montreal, featuring a retractable roof designed for professional play. The venue aims to satisfy the expanding demands of the World Tour circuit, giving players a climate-controlled space while keeping fans comfortable rain or shine. Officials said the project will position the city as a reliable stop on the schedule, potentially drawing larger crowds and boosting local businesses on match days. Construction plans call for modern amenities and seating that can adapt to different event sizes. The development is also expected to generate construction jobs and long-term staff positions within the venue. The announcement underscores a commitment to keep Montreal at the forefront of Canadian tennis, offering residents another world-class sporting experience without having to travel far. The stadium is slated to become a key asset for future tournaments.
An English-language leaders debate set for June 23rd was cancelled after 2 of the 5 party heads declined to appear. Organizers said the absence of those leaders left the forum untenable, prompting them to scrap the event entirely. The debate was meant to be a key moment in the run-up to the provincial election, slated for the fall, offering voters a direct comparison of policy positions in English. With the cancellation, the remaining parties will have to seek alternative ways to reach Anglophone constituents ahead of the campaign. Election officials noted that the decision does not affect the overall election timetable, but it removes one of the few opportunities for English-speaking residents to hear multiple candidates side by side. The move underscores the challenges of coordinating multilingual political events in the province.
Fans of Canadian music got a surprise this weekend when Shania Twain joined Quebec's masked collective Angle de Poitrine for a joint performance on the British late-night show Later, with Jules Holland. Jules Holland is known for mixing big names with fresh talent, giving audiences a glimpse of worldwide music trends. The duo took the stage in London during the program's June 20th through 22nd broadcast, marking both acts' first appearance on the series. Twain, known worldwide for her country pop hits, shared the spotlight with the enigmatic band, whose members perform in elaborate masks. Viewers in Montreal may recognize the group from recent festival gigs across Quebec, and the collaboration underscores how local talent can reach audiences far beyond the province. The performance was streamed online, allowing fans at home to watch the cross-genre duet in real time.
Emma Maltese is returning to the city's ice, signing a 2-year contract to join the Montreal Victoire as a forward. The deal, finalized on June 23rd, follows 3 seasons with the Scepters, where she proved a reliable scorer. The Victoire, reigning champions of the Professional Women's Hockey League, added Maltese to strengthen a roster already full of talent. Fans can expect her speed and offensive instincts to complement the team's fast-paced style as the season approaches. Home games will be played at the Bell Centre, where tickets are already seeing strong interest. The addition also gives younger players a veteran presence in the locker room, and her familiarity with the city's hockey culture should resonate with longtime fans. Local families are already planning weekend outings to watch her debut, hoping the new signing will help the Victoire repeat their championship run.
After torrential rains turned streets into rivers on Saturday, city officials announced a comprehensive flood control plan for the West Island. The deluge, the 4th major flash flood event since 2017, submerged dozens of homes and forced residents onto higher ground. In response, the city of Montreal and the surrounding West Island municipalities will develop a network of sponge parks and retention basins designed to absorb excess water and slow runoff. Engineers say the green spaces will double as recreation areas while providing critical storage during heavy storms. Officials stress the measures aim to protect neighborhoods that have faced repeated inundation, reducing future damage and easing emergency response. Construction is slated to begin later this year, with the first retention basin expected to be operational by early next spring season.
Let's turn to the forecast and see what the day has in store. A building high-pressure ridge and a westerly jet stream lock in dry, stable air over Montreal. Record high 30.2 degrees in 2016, part of a lingering heat dome that pushed temperatures across the province. Record low 11.3 degrees in 2015 came during a sudden Arctic blast that knocked temperatures below normal for several days. Normal high for this date sits around 24 degrees, low around 15 degrees. So today's expected 26 high is a few degrees above normal, but far from the extreme heat of 2016. This contrast shows how the current ridge differs from past extremes. Zooming in on the live radar, the screen is blank, no rain echoes across southern Quebec. The absence of returns confirms a dry column under the building high-pressure ridge. With the westerly jet stream aloft, any moisture would be sheared eastward, but none is present. Expect the clear pattern to hold through the afternoon before the ridge drifts northward later this evening. At 7 this morning, Montreal sits under an overcast sky at 16 degrees, humidity near 80%, and a light southwest breeze of 5 kilometers per hour. A high-pressure ridge is pushing eastward, pressure rising and squeezing out any lingering low-level moisture. Overhead, a westerly jet stream of roughly 120 kilometers per hour streams across the mid-levels, reinforcing the subsidence that keeps clouds thin and precipitation absent. By mid-morning, temperatures climb to 20 degrees as the sun peeks through gaps. The warmest point arrives mid-afternoon near 26 degrees, then eases to 24 as clouds return for the evening. UV index registers 6. No weather alerts are in effect. With the ridge set to weaken later, we now look to the 5-day outlook. Looking ahead, Thursday brings a modest rise as the ridge stalls offshore, delivering a high near 27 degrees and a low of 17. Overcast skies dominate, and the model shows about 50% chance of rain, a brief pulse likely in the late afternoon. Friday remains cooler. The high dips to 22 while the low holds at 17, with a 30% rain probability lingering into the evening. Saturday clears dramatically, offering a crisp 25-degree high under clear skies, a welcome break before the weekend. Sunday mirrors Saturday with mainly clear conditions and another 25-degree high, keeping temperatures steady. Monday caps the stretch with a return to clear skies and a high of 27, reinforcing the lingering warmth despite the approaching trough. The pattern shifts from a wet midweek to a dry, mild finish. And that's your weather. Remember, the local sunrise is also available as a podcast. Listen anytime on Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts. Traffic's moderate with closures, Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon on stage, and Carey Price's Hall of Fame honor. We will be right back.
Watch the local sunset tonight at 6 p.m. for all your local Montreal news.
Heavy congestion grips downtown this morning as the Montreal International Jazz Festival shuts several key streets in the Quartier des Spectacles. Expect long queues on St. Catherine, René Lévesque and Peel, especially near the Place des Arts. Traffic is moving at a crawl near the festival perimeter, and detours push drivers onto Rue Saint-Turbin and Rue Saint-Laurent. Further east, Avenue Soligny between the Autoroute 25 and Rue Honoré-Beaugrand sees minor delays from ongoing roadwork. The lane reduction adds a few minutes to the usual travel time, so consider an alternate route if you're heading toward the east end. In the north, construction on Boulevard de la Cité des Jeunes continues, but flow remains steady with only brief slowdowns at the intersection with Boulevard Henri Bourassa. Transit runs on schedule with no reported issues. Looking ahead, expect the downtown bottleneck to ease afternoon as festival traffic thins, while the two construction zones will likely stay at a steady pace through the afternoon.
Pink Floyd is taking the stage at Le Dome in Brossard tonight, delivering the entire Dark Side of the Moon album Live, perfect for anyone craving a classic rock night out. It's a rare chance to hear the whole record performed in one set, a treat for fans and newcomers alike. The Montreal International Jazz Festival kicks off today across the Quartier des Spectacles, offering nearly 1,000 concerts, many free. From rooftop stages to intimate clubs, there's a vibe for every music lover and a schedule that fits any day. The Big Top at the Old Port is alive with Cirque du Soleil's new Echo, a 3-day spectacle of acrobatics and storytelling that's already drawing crowds. A perfect evening stroll along the waterfront. Jazz fans can also catch bass legend Marcus Miller at the Maison Symphonique de Montreal, a fusion set that promises deep grooves and improvisational flair. Tickets are still at the box office. And now here's Tyler with sports.
Big honors for two Canadians' names that define this city. Brendan Gallagher is set to receive a distinction that goes well beyond hockey. The city of Montreal will name the Canadians forward an honorary citizen in a ceremony at City Hall this afternoon at 3 p.m., a tribute to a player who has given this city everything he had, every single night. Carey Price is headed to the Hockey Hall of Fame. The Canadiens' goaltending great was elected to the 2026 induction class earlier this week, joining Pekka Rinne, Keith T. Tkachuk, Patrice Bergeron, and Cindy Curley. For Montreal fans, it is a long-awaited and well-deserved honor for one of the franchise's all-time greats. The Canadiens' playoff run is over. Carolina's Logan Stankoven scored one of 3 first-period goals in Game 5 of the Eastern Conference Final, and the Hurricanes eliminated Montreal, advancing to the Stanley Cup Final. That report comes from CBC Sports.
Brainbox AI, nestled in the heart of downtown Montreal, has just opened its new laboratory and showroom. The tech firm, known for crafting custom artificial intelligence solutions, is turning the space into a living showcase where clients can watch algorithms come to life and test prototypes side by side with engineers. The facility doubles as a collaborative hub, inviting startups, universities, and city partners to experiment together on everything from smart city sensors to personalized health tools. By planting this innovation center in our downtown core, Brainbox is fueling a talent pipeline that keeps Montreal on the cutting edge of AI research. It's a reminder that our city's future is being built right here, one algorithm at a time. Up next, a tale of a Montreal couple who pays more after rebooking an Air Canada flight, despite a 25% sale.
Coming up tonight at 6, the local sunset. Your neighborhood, your city, your news. From City Hall decisions to the stories happening right on your street, we cover what matters most to Montrealers. Join us tonight at 6 p.m. on GMna for the local sunset, Montreal's evening newscast.
On the banks of the St. Lawrence, just steps from the historic Old Port, the Montreal Jazz Festival is setting up for tonight's free Angin de Poitrine concert. Families have already begun to claim the grass, picnic blankets spreading like a patchwork quilt, and the scent of fresh crepes mingles with the early summer breeze. Musicians from the city's vibrant community are tuning their brass and strings, while a group of local schoolchildren, drums in hand, practice a rhythm that will weave into the opening notes. As the sun dips behind the Jacques Cartier Bridge, the crowd swells to a sea of smiling faces, strangers sharing a common pulse. When the first chord rings out, a wave of applause ripples through the audience, and a young mother lifts her newborn, eyes shining with the simple joy of a moment shared. It reminds us that music, offered freely, can turn a city street into a gathering place of hope and connection. Whatever your plans today, carry that feeling of togetherness with you as you step out into the day.
From the steps of the historic Bell Center, where the city's heartbeat syncs with the echo of skates on ice, we gathered with Carey Price, his wife and 2 teenage sons, and 3 fellow legends fresh from the Hall of Fame ballot. The crisp March air carried the scent of fresh-baked bagels from a nearby bakery, and a small crowd of neighbors, schoolchildren, and longtime fans formed a quiet circle, each holding a handwritten note that read, "Thank you for the moments." As the ceremony began, a soft golden light fell on the newly polished plaque, its brass letters catching the sunrise that filtered through the arena's glass facade. When Price's name was called, he stepped forward, his eyes briefly closing as the crowd's applause rose like a tide. He lifted his son's hand, whispered a promise to keep the game alive for the next generation, and with a modest grin thanked the city that raised him. In that shared breath, Montreal felt the gentle power of a community honoring its own, reminding us that greatness is rooted in the people who cheer us on every day.
Thank you, Montreal, for watching the local sunrise. Tonight's highlight was the reunion of Harmonium after more than 40 years, a reminder of our city's vibrant musical legacy. We appreciate your company this morning and look forward to bringing you more stories tomorrow. See you then.